Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. All right, so AMBW relationships is something that I noticed that it's been trying, people have been trying to push this for quite some time. And by people, I mean Black women. Black women have been trying to push this concept for a long time. You have Issa Rae talking about, we should date this particular group of men, blah, 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 blah. But you don't really see these couples. Not only do you not see them on domestically, you don't see them here in the States too often. You don't see them on an international scale, nor do you see either side traveling in mass to meet their counterpart, meaning that you don't really see many Black American women, doing their passport sis thing to Asia. You don't see that. You don't see them saying like, "Ooh, I'm going to go to China to get me some of that good wood." You don't really hear talk like that, nor do you hear Asian men saying stuff like, "Ooh, I gotta have some chocolate. I'm gonna go to Nigeria and get me some of that chocolate." Now they go there for business purposes on both sides, but it's never, you never hear about an X tour, an intercontinental X tour between Asia and Africa. It's never about that. It's always more business than pleasure between the two. So I don't think that there's any real attraction there that exceeds their attraction to other groups on either side. There doesn't seem to be like this, strong magnetic urge and desire for AMBW. However, there is a push, there is this thing where they're trying to get us to believe that it is. And that is when things get dicey, and we have to really explore why Black women in particular are trying to make it seem like there is this new wave and this new lust for, let's just say, lightning fever or yellow fever. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yellow fever. But it's not really there. And to be perfectly honest, and this really isn't just a AMBW, this could be a BMAW thing as well. They're really, when you look at the way the cultures exchange fluidly between the two, whether it's Black music or a dance pattern as received by Orientals, or martial arts and anime and video games as received by Black Americans and perhaps even Black Africans. There is a there like they're probably, it seems like we're more attracted to the culture on both sides, that we're attracted more to the culture than the people in it. I find that interesting as far as Black and Asian relationships go. But here nor there, want to dig deeper into this topic. So I'm going to start with this. I actually have a series of videos that I want to show y'all on this. Now, this one is actually 13 years old. I'm going to start with this because it's the shortest, and this is going to replace what would be the short of the day. So what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to hit that like button while I prepare this for you. Give me a second. Oh crap, I gotta put my headset in. Yeah, hit that like button, people, for me.
Hey guys, just making another quick video to address a few situations with the whole AMBW movement. I haven't really posted a video about it in a while, so basically I want to talk about how I've noticed, and I've actually been told that some of our Black women are getting a little thirsty with the Asian men. Like there's like 5 Black women to 1 Asian man, and it's like Asian man, and it's so funny. But you know, um,
Do y'all hear that? 5 Black women to 1 Asian man. 5 Black women to 1 Asian man. And she's talking about in the sites. She's talking about in the sites, in the chat rooms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, that is real thirsty. I can't even front that. Y'all looking real thirsty out here. Y'all looking mighty thirsty out here. Just saying.
I don't want you guys to be thirsty out here. Like that's not even cute. Honestly, like I had a friend tell me like they talk about him all the time. They can't wait for him to like go on their little social websites and like post stuff because he's just so bomb and all this stuff. And it's so funny. Like I love it. I think it's hilarious. So, aside from learning how to approach a guy, and everything like that, especially an Asian guy, I think that let them approach you because I really
Agreed. Ladies, if you're learning how to approach any type of guy that is thirsty, it, as you know, as being women, you know that it's going to put you at an extraordinary disadvantage. It is what it is. It's going to put you at an extraordinary disadvantage when it comes to relationship negotiation. But I have my suspicion on why they're willing to do this. But not only Asian men, you have women that are willing to do this with white men, primarily those of a divestiture mindset. But we'll get into that.
want it to be an even number of AMBW relationships. I don't know.
That didn't make sense. Even to what? What she really means to say is she would like for there to be an even amount of Asian men in the chat room as there is Black women. But Asian men they don't have an ulterior motive. That once again, we're going to discuss. I want to point out that this is 13 years old. Hit the like button. This video here is 13 years old. So things hasn't really changed in this regard. And we're going to get into it. We're going to get into more modern videos to show that things haven't really changed in that regard.
Besides that, I've really been doing a lot of crazy stuff. I've been really busy moving and shaking, all that stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I wanted to make this video short. You guys will see some of the crazy stuff I've been doing with magazines, clothing lines, artists.
Yeah, don't care about that.
So
don't care about that. Okay. Wow. The fact that she has this site, that she's dedicating, because she's not an unattractive woman at all. But the fact that she, has this, and then she has this video, why do I love Asian men? You see that here, I mean, no matter what, that is thirsty. In fact, I'm going to click on that. Let's see this. Okay, somebody said, Icy Spark says, the reason why Asian men, Black women, is becoming very popular is because so many Black women are outspoken about it, which gives Asian men the confidence to go up to them and make their move. Yeah. Basically, you make it easy. That's any relationship would be, will be popular if the women make it easy. Basically, you're cutting the red tape to your vagina is what you're doing. So, yeah, but I mean, it's not becoming popular. This was 13 years ago. It's not popular. It's not a popular thing now. And it didn't really like gain in popularity and then plateau or something like that. It just didn't. You know, I think it's a very good thing considering all the obstacles currently in place in our society seems to put Asian men, Black women down. Yeah, they are both in last place as far as for their gender. Asian men being in last place for men, Black women being in last place for women. Um, I think you're beautiful, by the way, coming from an Asian guy. I date you in a heartbeat. So yeah, he's shooting a shot in addition to everything else. And of course, it only works in situations where the woman is significantly more attractive or prettier than the man is handsome. So yeah, I'm just gonna because I have some other videos that I got to do, but I am curious what she had to say in this short 5-minute video. So I'm gonna click that right quick. And while I do that, of course, I hit that like button before I go into this video that I haven't seen yet. By the way, after 13 years, she got 952 subscribers. And, this video has 266K. That means that very few people subscribed as a result of this. And I have my suspicions on why. And that's because it's a passing interest. I guess it's not that suspicious. Okay, so let's just read some of your comments here. Okay, and welcome some people. So Melissa, welcome. Always welcome here. All right. Brown Hornet, 1975. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. Mella, salute. Long time no see, but welcome back. Ishmael, appreciate you. Josh, salute. Gotta look at some of the videos that you sent me, Josh. And let's see. I think that's it. Dolomite, welcome, brother. All right. So let's see some of the things you have to say. I see Mella has a question here. So let's see. Question: is the assumption that women are to expect disrespect? No, it's not that. What I noticed in the culture as it pertains to Black women and Asian men, they're not expected to. They're not conditioned to expect disrespect. However, they are conditioned to not speak against it. So, they don't go into the relationship expecting disrespect, but if an Asian man, does become disrespectful, they're expected to tolerate it. And they're expected to keep it silent. And that's because what they want is more than they want the Asian man. They want the ability to leverage Black men. You see, in order for anything, in order to leverage anything, you need other options. For example, if I was to say apply for a job at, I don't know, let's just say Google, then I would have more leverage if I was to say, hey, I got this job offer from Meta, and you need to come up on that salary, or you need to come up on that profit sharing. It's always good to have a better option on the table in any negotiation, Mela, excuse me. And relationships, as you know, are negotiations. There are negotiations when getting into the relationship, and there's negotiations in sustaining the relationship. That's always going to be the case. Women know this and understand this. And when they want to negotiate relationships with Black men, it's a lot easier to do. First of all, it would be a lot easier to do for them if Asian men were the ones that were in the chat rooms 5-1. Then Black women could rightly say, listen, I can be with this guy, but instead I'm with you. And so they want to negotiate a relationship from that level of authority. It's not really working out for them, but it is a nice attempt. And that is the reason for that attempt. But thanks for the comment. Somebody said Asian men are really nice men. I don't see any fault in that logic. And yes, I do believe in ethnic stereotypes, and that is one of them, and that's a good one. Absolutely. Let's see. Black women tolerate more disrespect from anyone, not Black males. Well, and that goes, and it's for the same reason I just told Mela. They want to keep that silent to make it appear as if there is a better offer on the table. And, force Black men to quote unquote step their game up. Are Filipino men that there are Filipino men that only date black women? No, there isn't. No, there isn't. There are very few men that is limited to one race of women. Um, these men tend to have exceptional options, but men are nowhere near as picky as women. And for a Filipino man to say that, he would have to be extraordinarily picky, and he would have to be limited to, yeah, men don't. In order for a man of any type to say something like "I only date black women," he would have to willingly surrender 83% of the female population. And no man out there wants to have 83% less SCX than he's having now. That's not how we're wired. And the men that do make such limitations, they tend to do it out of racial solidarity, not out of racial diversity. So I have to disagree with you on that one. Josh Loggett said, Asian men do not tolerate black women's BS. No man does. And I definitely have videos on that. No man does. You have to be raised in order to do that. You see, black men are quote unquote raised in captivity. I told y'all the story about how and if you haven't heard this story, it's probably because you're new here. So go ahead and subscribe. But I told you about the story about the time I, as a child, I think I was maybe like 7 or 8, that I went to Marine World and I rode an elephant. My dad took me and I rode an elephant. However, elephants aren't really born to be ridden. If you try to find an elephant in the wild that's not conditioned to be ridden by humans, then it's not going to end well for the human or the elephant, depending on if the human is armed. So, because that's not really in his nature. Now, the one that I rode was born, in a captivity and conditioned to be subservient and be ridden by humans. As sad as it is, black men have been born in captivity to single mothers and conditioned to put up with the crap of black women. That's why Barack Obama says stuff like, "Don't let me get Michelle on you," because he understands that so many of us are conditioned to defer to female authority. It says, yes, I'm a person behind closed doors that, yes, I'm person, but behind closed doors, they talk about you. Okay, I see what you're saying. I don't know what that's in response to, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Times have changed. They don't do that now. Okay. Yeah, Asian men still prefer their women. That's why it's so many Asian people in the world. Okay, I think there's some confusion. I think he was talking about something else. I meant to say in person they are nice, but behind closed doors they will talk about you. There is truth to that. There is truth to that. I've experienced it firsthand. A friend of mine who's with an Indian guy who's not Oriental. Actually, I'm friends with the Indian guy. I was friends with the Indian guy. Now, this is a non-Oriental Asian person, but Asian person nonetheless. I'm not sure what type of Oriental she was, but she was very nice, and her boyfriend was cool. So the three of us were friends, and one day he had to go because his mother's house was getting appraised, and he had to be home too. Oh, by the way, a little bit of background: we were in class together. We were in class together. My degree is computer science, so there's Asian people there. That's just so he had to take off that day and go to his mother's house was being appraised. But he had me there to take notes, and he had her there to take notes, so it wasn't a big deal. And we sat next to each other because the three of us always hung out together. And the people were speaking in an Oriental language in front of me, And I didn't notice because I was focused on the class that she left. And, I didn't, I didn't really trip. I was just taking notes and stuff. And I wasn't paying attention to what I'm just calling Chinamen in front of me were saying. And so she came back with her dude and, he was ready to throw some hands, right? And, I was about to walk away. I was like, hey, what's up? Then I was about to, walk away and go my business. And he said, nah, stay here. Right. And then so he swole up on one of the Oriental dudes, like, you've been talking crap about my girl. And he was like, no, I say nothing. He said, yeah. And then she just went off because she spoke the language that they was speaking, and it was talking crap. They was talking crap. They was like, first I see her with the Indian guy, and now I see her with a black guy, So they was really talking crap. They was really talking that ish right in front of me. So yeah, there is some truth to what Josh is saying. Now, I mean, it's not my girl. I don't really have, I didn't really have like a dog in a fight, but dude, he didn't want to see either of us. It was obvious, it was obvious, he gon' he didn't want to see the homie. He didn't want to see the Indian homie. So, it was what it was. He backed out. He gonna cry when he get to the car. He got punked in front of his girl. It was humiliating. But yeah, to Josh's point, they do that crap. When he gone, I'll be talking again. It says all they're gonna do is help fulfill Asian man kinks, like they did with Zaddy. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't think, and listen, Oriental guys, don't. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think y'all have kinks. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, I don't think y'all have kinks. I don't think that y'all have like collectively, and I hate to say this, it's gonna sound bad, but I keep it real here. I don't think that y'all have much sexual imagination. And if so, y'all really keep it to yourselves. So I don't think that they have kinks and fetishes like that. I really don't. Also, they don't want to invade their privacy and space. They don't want you invading their privacy and space. My life hasn't really told me that. I'm not a black woman. I'm Latina. Asian men have always been good to me. At J Lockett. Not in Oakland. Well, I shouldn't say the women, but Asian men growing up, and probably because they're both like, they both were small minorities or growing minority populations. They had their run-ins. The dudes had their run-ins with each other, Latin men and Asian men. They may teach them to be submissive. They most certainly do. Well, I don't think that he's trying to be deliberately. I think he just has a different life experience than you. Not really in California. Oh, okay. All right. I think that the hostility between Josh and Melissa is probably not really, is more of a misunderstanding. It is sparked by misunderstanding than anything. All right. I believe a part of this is their own misinformed information about these other cultures. They think the sisterhood applies abroad. It does apply abroad. If you're saying the sisterhood that's born with that, the scrolls that I talk about and things like that, it is international. It is international. It does apply. Basically, it's a culture. It's a culture of. It's a series of mating strategies other than the standard mating strategies that women have, which includes things like leverage manipulation, raising the men to, be subservient to the women, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That exists, foreign and domestic, and it's born from, Black women's feeling that they can't compete in with standard attraction techniques like push-up bras and crap like that. You know, hasn't really worked to their favors. Filipino dudes do not date Black women. I know some personally. Well, I mean, if given an exceptional, like an offer they can't refuse, I mean, none of them is going to kick Rihanna out of their bed, so the ones that do are doing it because they are getting exceptional offers. The woman on the screen is a pretty woman. Okay, it says, yeah, back and forth again. Okay, let's do this. Okay, GC, you got to stop trying. We don't care anymore. This is counterproductive because you don't know it, but all this is considered proof you love them. I never said I didn't. Never said I didn't. What I'm doing is edifying individuals on, strategies and techniques that's used against them or against the individuals. Why would you want me to stop doing that? It's because of information that Black men are changing the way they think. And I think the recent elections is, a reflection of that. It's because Black men are becoming informed to channels through channels like Minds, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that they are changing the way that they're thinking, and not just going with their conditionings that comes from their mama. So I respectfully disagree with you. Okay, let's some really like big boobs. Yeah, I don't know if I would consider that a kink or a fetish. I think that that's just a natural thing on men and women, like liking big boobs. I mean, no one really accuses women of having a big penis fetish. That's just part of womanhood. That's, or a big bicep fetish. Like a kink would be something like a midget would be a kink. Something that's unexplicable and out of the norm. I don't think that Asian men really have many of those, but no, they like big boobs just like everybody else. That is true. Japanese, so I do have to retract my statement about Asian men not having kinks or they think out of the norm, because Japanese are weird as hell when it comes to sex. So, yeah, yeah. And they think of and do crap that both white and Black men don't think of or do. Yeah, I forgot about them. They are a particularly erotic group of people. I'm in SJ. Are you in Oakland? I'm in the Bay Area, yes, but I'm originally from Oakland, so my perspective comes from there. I'm not too far from you. They do tolerate disrespect from every group of men, but Black men, yeah. So we talked about that. Um, all right, looks like y'all talking to each other. It's fine. Okay. Never love that which consider your existence a barrier to being a replacement to white girls. Yeah, I will say this: Asian men throughout the diaspora, including and especially including, Southeast Asian men or Indian men, do have like an inexplicable attraction to white women that really supersedes logic. It supersedes logic on every level. For example, as y'all know, I work in the software industry. The Indian men, they would say all the time, like, have you ever been with a white woman? Please tell me about it. You've been with a white woman before. Tell me about it. What was it like? It's like, it was like a woman, but lighter. What the hell? What the hell? So, and then when talking about, like what in particular ones they're attracted to, they'll say something and I'll scratch my head. Because don't get me wrong, give me a Topanga from Boy Meets World, any day. Give me a Jessica Alba any day. Give me a Scarlett Johansson, even though she's one of those pussy hat people, any day. Carmen Electra. But they'll pick somebody like, what was Tom Cruise's wife's name? I remember he said that, and then I looked her up, and I was like, what? Like, that's your fantasy? That's you was in India thinking about that? That was the poster on your wall? Oh, he was H1B. I was like, that was the poster on your wall? So I don't understand it, but hey, it's how they're wired. I don't understand a lot of people, but it's how they're wired, and they make no secret about it. Me, they for the most part got a decent thing going. I mean, if I had to do a cartoon Disney princess, it'd be Princess Jasmine, like hands down, hands down. So I don't know. I don't understand their fantasy, to be honest. All right, let's play this. Let's see what she's talking about. Why do I love Asian men? Let's see.
Okay. First, before I get into this whole Asian men, Black women situation, I want to talk about Friday night's event. I hosted and interviewed for Mr. Dom Kennedy, and it was amazing. Okay, people showed love. The crowd was crazy. It was like 400 plus, 500 plus people, 700. It was a sold out event. Like, when I say the IE put in work, everybody came out, and I just want to say I appreciate all of you guys for showing me love when I was on stage. All footage and all videos will be out, so don't even trip. Wow. Okay, so there's a lot of Asian people there too. That's that power. So questions about why I like Asian men, why I love Filipino men, why the Pacific Islanders catch my eye when I am wherever I am. Well, for one, they're sexy, flat out. Everybody's sexy. Just be a sexy person, and maybe somebody will look at you, whatever. But on the other hand, my passion, I'm looking at my phone, my passion for the culture, the tradition, and everything that they have to offer, like, it's not materialistic, so don't even.
Okay. The sexy part, I think that she's just giving empty compliments, which is okay if you like a group of people. The cultural aspect, okay, she's on to something here. Yeah, that's why you say sexy and then the question mark, because typically that's followed by the attributes that they possess, that they uniquely possess, that are sexy. And she's unable to do that because there aren't any, to be quite frank. And she knows that. Like, if a person, like even the Indian guys I was just talking about, they were to say, if I were to ask them why, and I really don't, because I'm not that interested, but if I were to ask them why, they would probably say, it's the faceted nature of their being, the blue eyes, the blonde hair, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which is why many guys who fetishizes for white women have that fetish. They have unique traits that fascinate them, that are exotic to them. But they're all able to give descriptions of exactly why. If a person had the particular fetish for black women, he would say, I love their curves, I love the fullness of their lips, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Same with Latin women. The person could say that he loves their hair, he also loves their curves, and he also loves the fullness of their lips. So, it's things like that. People can be very specific, when they say a group of people is sexy, but she just gave like a blanket, they're sexy. And I think that's just an ego call for them. However, the culture The culture is something that is to be admired, and so I'm curious of how deep she's going to go with that.
Yeah, can you tell when I'm sick? Anyway, the whole thing is I love, you guys, ladies, like if there's any ladies out there, let me know if you feel what I'm saying, because yeah, like they're bomb to me. I mean, the eyes, the skin, okay, because at first I was dating light-skinned dudes and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like I would think.
Okay, so she did go into details. Okay, and I agree. So what she's saying is Asian people aren't as prone to acne as white people are, and lighter skinned black people are. So yeah, and that is true. It's probably a genetic resistance that's in the Oriental population, but you don't really see many full pimple faced Orientals, man or woman. So yeah, she's onto something. And if she likes their eyes, then that's her fetish.
In my little phase or whatever. Then I was like, I really miss the Filipino Asian side of my life. So I went back, and a lot of people don't know that my grandmother is Black and she has a hint of Japanese in her. So I don't be like walking around like, oh, I'm Black and Japanese, of course, but that's what, we're part of y'all. I'm a part of you, Asian Japanese people. So power, double power to my people.
Holy crap.
Anyway, I think I got the best of both worlds without knowing it. I love them. The Black guys that like to harass me and whoever.
No one's harassing you, but well, if you have a video with 266,000 views, there's going to be a harasser or two in there. Maybe she is onto something, because she seems to have acne-free skin for someone her age, and and she says she's part Asian, so maybe she's onto something. And my favorite mix of people is half Black and Filipino, provided that the mother's the Filipino one. So yeah, perhaps there's a there. What she's talking about is hybrid vigor, which is a real scientific term. Maybe there's a there.
Who I'm with, like, it's all bad, because it's not going to make me like Black guys any more than I somewhat do.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there, because I actually don't believe that Black guys are harassing her like this. But let me see. Black guy here. Oh, here we go. 9 years ago, Black guy here. I think it's awesome that you date outside your race. I think more Black women should, because personally, I feel like they focus too much on dating within our race, generally speaking. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can find like the Black guy that's speaking against this union, because it's for the most part we really don't care. Yeah, okay. So what she's doing is she's actually doing these videos to trigger Black men. And she's taking like the crumbs of trigger as success, is what she's doing. Yeah, this probably is a Black guy, and he said Black women's are hot. Like, so she's fabricating the whole pushback that she's getting from Black men, because she's doing it to get pushback from Black men. A lot of these are pleas for attention from Black men. Really quite pathetic. And I think that when she did her thirst video, she actually did that because she realized that it was being taken too far. Hit the like button. She realized that that their attempts to trigger us got them looking real crazy out here. Got them looking real thirsty out here.
Like, if I see a chocolate man, I'm gonna be like, "Ooh, that's chocolate." But I'm like, if I see an Asian guy, I'm gonna be like, I get shy and nervous. Is that weird? Okay, I do get shy. I do get nervous. My hands start sweating, my palms, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm meeting Michael Jackson or something, and he just fell from the sky.
Okay, now she's yeah.
It just my
Okay, so she later told people not to be thirsty, but this is kind of bad.
Stomach. You can ask my cousin. Like I get so, it just excites me. So anyway, that is pretty much it. All the guys that asked me about the bedroom situation and stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of shallow, like because honestly, I've been with guys. Well, not guys. Forgive me. I've been in a relationship with a male that was, yeah, and
she really said a whole lot of nothing. Okay, let me see. I was looking for a video.
Yo, what's up, guys? Your boy Crispy, aka Khan, with another video. Now, my girl Chrysalis actually asked me to do this, so she want my opinion on black girls.
Oh crap! Let me see. So dude's name is Crispy Khan. I'm gonna see later because I remember his face. He did a video also about black women being thirsty. So I'm gonna see if I could find that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try to hit that like button because I'm gonna go to another video. All right, here. And this video here is really what sparked the conversation. No, it's not that one. Let's see. Okay, it's this one right here.
Some getting bullied.
There's this beautiful young lady on TikTok documenting her life in China and her experience there. She goes live quite often, so you get to see the interaction she has with the locals and the kind of questions they ask her, and how the culture is and how that dialogue goes, because she put.
So I don't know what she is. I think that she's a transplanted African, but I will say that I look at it and she looks Indian and sounds it as well, and I can look at this and say Indian dudes are crazy for really fetishizing white women the way they do. Like, I mean, y'all got a pretty good thing going.
Subtitle underneath, even though she's speaking in Chinese, you can understand what's really happening. She posted a video of herself having a conversation with this man that just randomly joined her and started asking her questions like, can you be seen in the dark because you're black? And I just watched that video in such a shock because, one, she handled him with so much grace and with respect. She never insulted him. She never did anything. She was so calm, but she still stood her ground and defended herself. But what shocked me more is the backlash she received after she posted that video. Apparently, she should have stayed quiet and allowed that disrespect to happen. Let me show you the interaction she had with this Chinese man. We'll come back and discuss.
晚上开灯的话，不开灯看不到人好。
晚上不开灯看不到人，那你晚上不开灯能看见你吗？
但是对比来说，我们好看一点嘛。
对比来说，你好看一点，谁骗你啊，师傅？
就关了灯，大家关了灯嘛，大家关了灯的话，你就黑了，黑跟黑就比较难找嘛，是吧？我们还是白的嘛，是不是？
你不是白人，师傅，你是黄的。
黄的嘛，那还是白的。
不是师傅，你是黄的，你不是白的。
我们是黄种嘛。
对你不是白，你黄。
美国还有白种的嘛，是吧？
都有。
白的嘛。
师傅，你除了在中国还去过别的地方吗？
没有啊。
所以你得多旅游一下，就去外面世界看一看吧。因为你这种想法确实有点。
Okay. Like I say, I don't like their language. It's not as bad when she says it, to be perfectly honest, because she don't have that echo that they put at the end of every annoying word. But nevertheless, I really don't want to jump to a conclusion. Maybe he's on that ish, or maybe, and I was thinking this earlier when I first saw the video, or maybe he was shooting his shot in a very, very, very corny way. Because I mean, I'm reversing the genders here. So, and I want you fellas to do the same thing. A woman comes up to you and says, can I see you in the dark? My immediate response, if I'm attracted to the woman, would be, come to my room and find out. That would be my immediate response. But of course, I'm a guy. So it is different. This could be a case of a very bad pickup line or a dude that's on this ish. It's a coin toss to me.
怎么说呢？很莫名其妙。
没想法，没什么想法。
不是你这种说法有点有限。我不抽烟，抽烟对身体有
害的。
那你明明知道还会抽。
正常的啊，害不害也是几十年。
几十年。
人不是活了几十年嘛？
是不是？我不是骗你，我建议你多去旅游一下。
那有什么好旅游啊？不好玩。
那你不旅游，你对外面世界肯定
不需要了解那么多了，自己的国家都走不完。
那你不出国，肯定对别人的了解也不是很好呀，别人的文化呀。你看我一开口，你问我的所有问题都是奇怪的那种，因为你没有出过国。
我知道。
你得多去一点。我旅游了好几个国家，所以我每次被问这种问题，我都知道这个人可能没有出过国。但不用没关系，在中国也挺好的。
我是故意的。
故意问的吗？
对啊。
那故意伤害别人有？
不是伤害。
可是我觉得不是伤害，你没有伤害我，但是别人可能会觉得你是伤害他们。就像我会中文对吧？我就了解中国人，我了解你们的文化，我知道这些问题可能只是好奇、单纯而已。
Okay. Once again, I can't listen to it, even when she says it. And someone says she's a cutie, and she is. She is definitely a cutie. And I like her hair and her hair texture. I can only listen to this so long. I'm be honest, like the more he's talking, the more it does sound like a bad pickup line. It really sounds like he's been listening to American Game dudes, and he's on that. Oh, I'm gonna neg her. You know what they say. Like I'm gonna neg her. I'm going to lead with an insult or some crap. It seems like he's just like all over the place, but he's still in her face, and it's yeah. But no matter what, it's unwelcome. He's not reading the situation, and his company is not welcome. And she's being polite. So kudos to her for being polite. Kudos to him for shooting his shot. I know it's not the easiest thing to do. Especially, well, the black women, as we seen with the video 13 years ago, they make it easy. And he's probably like, I don't know. This interaction is very strange. But this is a foreign interaction, so.
每个国家的肤色都不一样。
那你明明知道这个，那你为什么还要问我呢？你还说你是故意问的。
As you saw, that man came at her. He even told her, "We're better than you guys." I loved how she responded. She told him, "Who told you that? Like, who lied to you?" And that's a read, but like.
No, that's a very good point.
So after that conversation, you would.
That is a very good point. I haven't been to China long enough to really gauge if that's the culture there, but amongst Orientals, there is a belief that lighter is better. However, amongst the Orientals that I met abroad, that doesn't pertain to other race or people who are mixed with other races. Like if you are solid Oriental, it's better to be a lighter one than a darker one. This applies to the women. So I don't know, but I will say this. and this is why both sides neg. There is, he obviously want that good. He obviously wants that chocolate, or else he just walk and mind his own damn business. However, there is a tendency that some people have, to lower the self-esteem of the person that they're talking to in order to get them to give themselves at a discount. Now, because Black women have been coming off as thirsty for the past 13 years plus, it seems like that would be easy to do. It would be easy if he can convince her that she is less than based on her skin color, then he has a better chance. Obviously that was his only seduction technique, and it failed miserably in a very public way. But hey, what else can you do when you got a small penis? So let's hear some more.
Think that people will be defending her and saying that was so not right what he did, and that's disrespectful, right? That's what you expect. But that's not what happened, because she had to come back and defend herself again because of the backlash she's facing. Listen to this.
So I'm getting bullied for disrespecting somebody that was first rude at me. This is how that man came at me. Then he went on with.
晚上开灯的话，不开灯看不到人哈。
晚上不开灯看不到人，那你晚上不开灯能看见你吗？
但是你对比来说，我们好看一点嘛。
Hey everyone.
That when he kind of was being delusional, I just reminded him.
就关了灯，大家关了灯嘛。大家关了灯的话，你就黑跟黑就比较难找嘛，对吧？我们还是白的嘛，是不是？
你不是白人，师傅，你是黄的。
黄的嘛，那还是白的。
不是师傅，你是黄的，你不是白的。
I don't think I did anything wrong with that. Yeah, you might be saying that I was being RACIST with Asian people. That was never about Asian people.
You weren't doing anything wrong, and the guy is he's definitely bad at what he's doing. And I'm thinking that he might have some success with darker skinned Asian women, and he's trying to translate that over or what have you. But like, I'm slumming it because there is that thinking. But yeah, a lot of yellow people do think that they're white, which really shows like a cultural weakness that white people are exploiting in them.
Mine does not represent Asian people. It was me with that man. He first disrespected me. He was rude at me and at my people. It wasn't.
I like her accent too.
The questions he was asking, it could be another black person. He was going to ask the same question. It's just because I could speak his language. That's why I was able to, reply. So if you're Asian and you're thinking I disrespected you by the way I talked to that man, no, I'm saying I love my Chinese friends and my Chinese aunties too much to disrespect them. I can never do that.
Yeah, imagine that. She gets disrespected and she has to come and ask why people are so offended. This is so bizarre. This is upside down world, in my opinion. Why are you so pressed about this girl defending herself? Why aren't you not pressed that this man approached her, not say, hello, what's your name? My name is so and so. Can we be friends? Like, he never even interacted with her in the level of how you approach a human being.
She's right. So she does recognize, as I suspected, that this was his pickup line. This is a bad pickup line. Partially because he seems like he's not too bright and quite frankly, not too savvy with women, but it's a different culture and they're not reputed for being that. But yeah, it was all around bad on dude's part, but his intentions were clear. He did want some of that chocolate. Let me read the super chat. Trump for Prison says, B-dubs are in an let's see, inevitable position. Let's see. They view most black men as dusty, but when the B-dub tries to get with other men, she becomes dusty. Her mating strategy is the worst in the world. Her mating strategy actually probably comes from a time of Jim Crow where black men didn't have other options. So they did everything, no matter what. It's just all bad. And it's not, and until they get in line with everybody else, that whose mating strategy is competitive with each other, and they work to become fitter, feminine, and friendlier, then you're always going to lose. Just like this guy's mating strategy was extraordinarily bad. Yeah.
When you see publicly, there's courtesy, there's like you should have some kind of values. You don't just go to someone even if you're curious. Let's say he was curious, which we know that he's not, because he tells her in the part 2 video that she posted, he said it on purpose. Okay, he disrespected her on purpose. So even if we give him the benefit of the doubt and he was curious, who goes to a person in public just randomly and say, can I ask you a question in the dark? Can you be seen? It's nonsensical in my opinion, and I don't buy it for a second that this is just an innocent curiosity. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been watching a lot of TikTok videos of interactions of Africans going to this Asian countries, and the conversation and the questions that they're being asked. Like specifically, there's one creator, I forget his name, on TikTok. He films his interaction with the locals there, and some of the questions I've heard them ask him is just mind-boggling. I've heard a person ask this young man, is your blood black too? Like, what? That's why I find it very...
Okay, I'm going to say this, and this comes from a lifetime of dealing with the cultures, the various Oriental cultures. They're a lot stupider than people think. Now, that doesn't necessarily make them stupid. In fact, it doesn't. But people, in my personal experience, and this goes back to like elementary school, people have this thing when it comes to Orientals, that they have this belief that there's a higher intelligence. That's not necessarily true at all. Their accomplishments in academia and in others really do more to discipline than anything else. It's really due to discipline and not being distracted by other talents. Like, meaning that when you don't have hoop dreams, you better become a doctor. Kind of like that. But yeah, and that's why I think that she's having this particular conversation. I think that she don't really understand that some of them are just stupid. A not insignificant amount of them are just stupid. And they do actually believe that the blood is black too. And I don't fault the person for thinking something like that. I mean, it's really like that's what it is. Like that's what that person thinks. For example, and people have this. What I'm saying is there are a lot of people who are just on some ish. Asian people are not immune to it, and white people aren't either. Neither are black. For example, I'm in the Philippines, and I met a half black Filipina, which is my favorite mix of people. My favorite women is Ethiopian. But nevertheless, I go out with her and she's telling me about, everything and, how she came to be, about her father and her mother and stuff like that. And, interesting thing. But she also was telling me about her interaction with other, because her mother's Filipino, obviously. Well, it's not obvious, but her mother is the Filipino one, and how things are with her and her family. And one of the things she told me was that they think that she's taller than she is, even when they're standing right next to her. And this is one of those things that people buy into. So they would take pictures and they would tell her, like, oh, you're tall, you should be in the back. And it would be a person that's taller than her looking down on her saying that. But they look at her darker skin and says, oh, she must be taller, even though she's not. So she told me that. I was like, okay, there's obviously a strange thing going on there. There's a lot that they don't know. And trust me, I really don't care. Because there's a lot I don't know about their culture as well. I don't know who the second Chinese emperor was, and I really don't give a shit. Just like they don't give a shit about who Frederick Douglass is, nor should they have to. So yeah, let me read some comments on that, because I see an Asian guy here. So, and trust me, it's not my intention to offend. I say what you want. I just call things as I see it. This is a very interesting listening. Asians are very crass and blunt. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that the clash in culture, but I would agree that his pickup line was bad. Yeah. And that's what it was. Like, I wouldn't take it like as a huge ethnic insult or something like that. It's really more like, hey, this dude tried to shoot a shot. She's a cute girl, by any national or any ethnic standards. And it was a bomb. Like it was a bomb. But he really approached her as if she was one of those girls who didn't know she was cute because she's dark skinned. It seemed like he was banking on. It fell flat, and yeah, now he's dealing with the consequences. So, y'all want to know who has a blunt language? And I think a lot of them are assholes. Deaf people. Like, I shouldn't say I think that they're assholes, but if you listen to if you know some sign language, they sound like assholes, or they look like, you can't really say sound like it because it's sign language, but it's a blunt language, and they're probably not that blunt, but a lot of the platitudes that we have in speaking, they don't have, because it takes more work to put in please and thank yous and and misters and sirs. It takes more hand movement to be polite and to not be blunt. So they they just want to say stuff. And I don't know sign language anymore. I had to take it in college, so I knew it for like a short period of time, but through lack of use, I don't know it anymore. But yeah, it does come off as short. That's the word. It comes off as very short, and I used to think like, man, these people are jerks.
Very hard to give them the benefit of the doubt, because you can't be this ignorant about the world. Anyways, fam, let me know down below what your thoughts are about this conversation, especially with this young girl facing a backlash because she defended herself, like, respectfully, not even.
And that's what I want to talk about. Not really so much the interaction. I kind of got lost in the topic, but not so much the interaction, but the backlash to the interaction, because the backlash to the interaction comes from Black women. They felt that she should have been more tolerant of this, and she was pretty tolerant. But I think that they want to maintain positive interactions between Asian men. Because what's going on is that Black women have a horrific stereotype, of just terrible physiques, bad hair practices, and insufferable personalities. Now, what they don't want to do, and I don't blame them, is take this reputation to an interracial and international level. They do have an opportunity to recreate their image abroad, which she is doing by being cute and by being intelligent and by having her natural hair and by being fit. She is creating a more positive ethnic stereotype for Black women abroad by doing so. And what they're saying is you're ruining it by your actions, but she's not. But it does, and this goes into the answer to the question of the thing. They're trying extra hard and they're being more tolerant in order to create or combat the combative ethnic stereotype that they now possess. Hey, good luck with that, but you still have to treat your own men better. There isn't any ifs, ands, or buts to it. You can't go to another group of men saying that I'll treat you well, but I treat Black men poorly because he's going to have a Black son with you that he don't wish to be treated poorly by his own mother. So, yeah, something to think about, ladies.
She didn't even call him names, Anyways, let me know down below. I'll see you on the next one. Stay blessed. Bye.
Okay, someone says Black women love Korean drama. Many secret desires desire Asian chads. Okay, I don't know if he would be called Chad if he was Asian. Let's start there. But no, I don't think that that's the case, because the ones who mention this particular lust, they rarely, if ever, mention a particular nationality of Asian. First of all, let's make one thing clear. When they say Asian, they're almost exclusively talking about Orientals. So let's start with that. But even within that cohort, they never mention a particular nationality. And then the rare occasion that they do, it's almost always Filipino. So I don't think it's anything, like that. I think that there's something a little bit sinister in play. But yeah, that is what it is. All right. It says Black women give every other race a pass. Well, yeah, it's for the reason that I stated. It's for the reason that I stated. They want to tone down their combative reputation, because they have an opportunity to create a new reputation, or say that they individually are not like that. A lot of every women are K-pop fans. That's, I see it at the gym. I don't hear it, but I see it at the gym. I mean, I don't listen to modern music, but they put it on the screen. Okay, well, I don't, like I say, I'm not into modern stuff. So, hey, something I don't know. Okay. I mean, people are always going to be like a new it thing. There's always going to be like a new it guy. And, maybe it is Korean. I haven't heard of it, but I don't listen for stuff like that. Okay. I'll check my text messages for the video. I've never worried about that ever. But that's, I don't, it takes a lot for me to worry about anything. Only Black men need to have gamer swag. As we're about to see in this upcoming video. So let me play this one next. All right. Says, yeah, I agree. Most Asian men are not Chads. Yeah, it's a number of factors that's going on there. As far as because they say Chad or Tyrone, the black people when they talk about it. There's a reason that Oriental guys really aren't seen in that way, and that is, and there's a number of reasons. One, their culture is reputedly restrictive towards women, and Western women, enjoy their freedoms. Two, there's the small penis thing that can't be ignored, and then there's the height factor. So all the features that they try to present as leading men features, quote unquote, don't really exist in high numbers amongst Asian guys. And then there's a deliberate thing. There's a deliberate thing I noticed with that, because take Jackie Chan and Jet Li, like these are people who were and still are, movie stars, very successful ones, but they were never presented as ladies' men as well. In fact, with Jet Li being on Romeo Must Die, he was the hero. He did rescue the girl, Aaliyah, rest in peace, but he didn't get the girl, which I found very odd. It was just like a classic, kung fu fighting superhero type movie, and he takes down the villain and he gets the girl, but like everything followed that template except him getting the girl. And I don't know. I think Hollywood is deliberately doing that, or I don't know. It's that was weird. I'm gonna put that out there. That was weird. Yeah. Can't really. So yeah, there is a there is a emasculation going on in Hollywood, and it has been going on for quite some time. Against Oriental men, and that must suck. I remember watching a Clint Eastwood movie, and Clint Eastwood go into town, and he gets a what do they call it? An inn. They called it an inn back in the day. So he goes into town, and he's hunting a bounty, and there's another 6-foot+ white boy that's hunting a bounty too. And so the 6-foot, no, it wasn't Clint Eastwood that rented the hotel room, the inn. It was the other white dude, the other 6-foot+ white dude that rented the room. And then they show like this little Oriental guy with his wife, and he just goes into the guy's room, don't say anything, and he packs up his clothes, and takes it out. And then the guy follows him out like, hey, why you taking my stuff? And then Clint Eastwood is standing there like, you need to get out of town. And then there was so basically the owner of the hotel, the Asian guy, a shorter guy, he was the same height as his wife. He was holding the laundry, and then one big white dude is saying, put the clothes upstairs. And then Clint Eastwood is like, keep them downstairs, and they both just ordering this guy around, and then he just drops the clothes and runs away. Crap like that is not a good look, I gotta say. And so, in addition to lack of promotion, there's all the other stuff that makes them less Chad. Hopefully this K-pop new movement, according to the younger people in the chat room, this K-pop, is a step in their direction, is a step in the right direction for them. I want them to win. So, hey, hopefully that's the case. But growing up in the 80s, and there is a there. This is a younger woman, so maybe there's a there. Let's listen.
Attempted to to enter the club. However, the 19-year-old girlfriend was barred from entry as the club now served alcoholic beverages. The club allegedly told her she could only enter as a worker and offered an application. The girlfriend applied and the club allowed her in as a dancer. Supposedly, after she made a decent amount of tips, her boyfriend decided it was time to go. He allegedly scooped up all of her tips and physically escorted her out of the club. This action triggered the emergency call, and it wouldn't take long for police to find the couple walking nearby.
Hey, what's going on? Okay, ma'am, you want to come over here and talk to me?
Everything I fucking made
Ma'am.
tonight is ripped up.
Okay, come here. Come here. What's going on?
Everything I made at the strip club is ripped up and gone.
Okay, what's going on?
Can you please be nice?
Okay. Don't talk to him. Just look at me.
He was upset because I was stripping.
Okay.
And everything I made, he ripped up.
Okay. Who's he to you?
That's my boyfriend. Am I going to get arrested for stripping?
No, there's nothing illegal as long as you're doing it in an establishment that's licensed, which they are. Exactly. What's your name? No. Look at me, ma'am. Look at me. Don't look at him.
He's going to get arrested. No. Can you just tell him to calm down?
Dude, I'm okay.
Step the fuck
Please
back.
Please do not push
Step
me.
the fuck back.
Do not swear at me. You're an officer of the law. Please do not swear at me.
Care. All right, tell me what happened.
Nothing happened.
Did you strike her?
I did not strike her.
Okay. You have an ID?
I do. Would you like to see my ID?
Yeah. Is that hers?
That's hers. I was carrying it for her tonight.
All right.
Here's my ID. You can look at it.
Why is his ID paper?
I have permission to go in my pocket. You did not ask to go in my pocket. You did not ask to go. Get on the ground now. Get on the ground now, dude. Yeah. You're gonna get.
No.
3, 2. On your stomach now. On your stomach now.
No, he's going to turn.
Relax.
No, he punched him in the face,
Stop.
and you know
Yeah,
that
I
was
sure
right.
did, because he cocked back on me.
Stop.
No, what does he have? A fucking gun?
Stop.
Okay, so his fists were not fast as lightning. They didn't show it, but apparently he cocked back and he got punched before he was able to complete his punch. His fist was not fast as lightning. Let's just say that. It was not expert timing.
Am I going to be able to?
Stop. Just relax.
You know that was illegal. You fucking assaulted my boyfriend. He didn't.
No, it's not illegal. That's police brutality. It's not police brutality. That is police brutality. Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. You straight up punched me in the face. Yep, because you swung back like.
He didn't fucking swing at you. He put
stop,
his hands up. I'm
stop.
sorry. I don't want to get arrested.
Stop.
Here we have.
Yeah, if you're gonna cock back, then punch. What the hell was that?
One in custody.
You're right there. You good?
I am okay.
He has my backpack and my purse. Am I able to get that?
Yeah, just hang on.
Yep, that's hers. Can you please give that to me? I don't feel like you had the need to punch me in the face, though.
If you cock back on me and you look like you're about to punch me in the face,
Yes.
I'm going to defend myself.
Oh.
You're not going to get an upper hand.
Okay,
on
but
me.
you're an officer of the law. You have.
I have every right to defend myself. Just because I wear a badge and I'm a police
Right,
officer
but
does
just
not
because-
mean that you get to have the first swing.
Thank fucking God, Jason.
Stop.
Sorry.
Wayne, do you understand that? Do you understand that?
Right, but just because I'm
So I will punch you in the face if I think you're about to attack me.
will you let me speak?
No, I won't.
But just because I'm a brown person, just
It has nothing to do.
You're a yellow person. Okay, so this is that night. There's an assumption of intelligence that I think people just tend to overassume when it comes to them. He's not that bright.
Do with who you are.
It does have something.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Are you brown? You're done, bro. You're done.
Watch it.
He's trying to headbutt me in the head.
Don't cut the bag. Just take it off.
Shut up.
Just take it off. It's not my bag. It's not my bag.
Yasmina, stop. Stop.
Bag is hers.
Stop. Stop. You got a search on this side? No.
I have 2 grams of cocaine in my butthole.
Okay, outstanding.
And I have 3 grams of marijuana in my stomach.
Okay.
Oh, there's not.
Good. You fucking piece of. He just tried fighting.
I got another squad over here. This guy's trying to bite us and spit on us. And we just need to go in here. Stop, dude.
Don't punch me.
Stop.
It's illegal.
It's not. It's a pressure point. Stop.
Punching me in my throat is a pressure point?
It's not. It's underneath your chin. Stop.
He just punched me in the throat.
Stop, dude. You're going to get tased.
Tase me then. I have a seizure disorder. You're going to tase me?
Get back. Just go stand over there. Just go. It's all ruined. Just go stand over there.
Swear to God,
Get back. You gotta sit here.
Get back.
Hey, get her back now.
No, this is legal.
No, you can step back. I'm not comfortable with you that close.
Why?
Get them, babe. Get them.
I'm not the one doing anything wrong.
Babe.
Did this man actually say get them? Did he just do a Barack Obama? Did he just try to sick his girl on other men? Jesus. He said, babe, help me. I can't make this up. Can you? Can anybody?
Help me.
I can't.
Please, baby, help me.
I can do. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did fuck up today.
You're on your own.
You really did.
I'm sorry.
Now you're going to jail for multiple felonies. So that sucks.
Felonies?
Yep.
Felony. You assaulted him.
Assault on a police
You
officer.
started it. You punched him in the fucking face.
I did.
And you just caused his seizures.
Because he swung back on me.
I was protecting myself. Because you punched me, I was protecting myself.
Okay.
Right? I have the right to protect myself, don't I?
That is in the rule book of the laws.
Because you punched me, I have the right to protect myself. Nope.
Yep.
All right. I was protecting myself from you.
So at this point, I think it's clear to everyone watching that he's I don't know if he's on the spectrum, but he's definitely not mentally healthy. You know, I'm not qualified to classify such people, but this isn't just a matter of low intelligence. There's something else going wrong with him mentally. So it is what it is.
Ow. You left your cop car locked, dumbass.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, your fucking mouth. Don't talk to her like that. Don't talk to my fucking woman like that.
Stand by. There's a knife back there.
Ow!
Hey, why should you want to pull through on the other side?
We get an ID on her?
I have information. I just haven't been able to run her.
Ow!
Hold on.
There you go. Pull.
What do I do about my money getting cut up?
Don't worry about it. I don't know. See ya.
I've seen that before. Don't worry about it. You know ability.
So see where her priorities are? You see that? You see where her priorities lie? It's weird. Somebody says, I think black women have an attraction to dysfunctional males regardless of their race. Though I see the truth in that statement, we're going to get a glimpse of her personality. And I think afterwards, there'll be a greater understanding of why this pairing made sense.
I've never been to the strip clubs here. Yeah.
So, I mean, just a little background to understand what's going on here. I don't know how old he is, but she's 19. They walk into a strip club, a bar, and I guess they were asking for alcohol, and they said that you can't be here unless you're a dancer. And she just started taking off her clothes, and and that's how this whole thing started. Stuff like that's not something regular 19-year-olds find themselves in.
Oh, stop! It hurts.
Relax. We're trying to fix it. Stop. You're gonna get another charge. Hey, go back. Relax. Go back. Stop. Relax.
We're done with her. You need to leave, otherwise you're going to get arrested.
No, because this is legal. I'm allowed to stay close.
You are interjecting into our scene right now. You're getting too close. I told you that multiple times. So just stop. It's very easy.
You're built easy. Did you know that?
I don't know what that means.
That means anybody can fuck you.
Cool.
So now we're starting to get a sense of her personality. She said, "You're built easy." He says, "What does that mean?" And she responded with, "Anybody can fuck you." Okay. So now we're starting to see that maybe she's like on some of whatever is going on in his soul. I don't know. Somebody say, where is this at? I don't know, but it says Midwest. So somewhere in the Midwest. Yeah, I'm reading it. I don't see it. I don't see exactly where it is. Maybe we'll see it on the door of the police car.
It hurts.
Stop. You're gonna get another charge.
It fucking hurts.
Roll him on his side.
No. Ow.
On his side.
It fucking hurts.
Stop.
Ah. God damn it.
Set him up. Set him up.
Ah.
Battery, disorderly conduct.
Somebody grab the hobble.
His charge? Yeah.
You don't need to hobble me. Just shut the fucking door. Hey. That's another.
See? And he threw a couple of more head bumps in there. I couldn't be a police officer.
Get him down. Shut that door now. Shut the door.
You started it.
No, he just headbutted one of my officers.
He's the one who punched me.
He's better two
He
officers.
started it.
Okay. You need to leave now. If you don't have a criminal complaint, you need to
I have a
leave.
criminal complaint.
Against
You
what?
assaulted my boyfriend.
Okay, have a good night.
Blood on you.
Yep.
Blood on you.
It's fine.
Yeah. With a big rag.
Can you let the jail know that he's very uncooperative? They're going to need quite a few people.
On the way to the jail, the suspect
So I don't know what state, but they're in a city called Superior. Maybe somebody in the chat room can help with that.
continues lashing out, and according to police reports, he continually bashes his own face into the window that separates the front and back seats.
Fucking pieces of shit. I told you to shut the fucking doors. Roll my window down.
While the suspect is on the way to jail, some officers stay behind to question his girlfriend.
So what happened?
So we tried getting into the strip club, and I'm not 21. And she was like, well, the only way you can get in if you're a dancer. And I'm like, I'll dance tonight. And my boyfriend's like, if you dance tonight, I'm breaking up with you. I was like, okay. I started dancing maybe 20, 25 minutes.
So she doesn't take this relationship seriously. Like, you know, they go into a bar, and the moment somebody said, you know, the only way you can be here is if you dance. And she said, okay, I'll dance. And he says, if you dance, I'll break up with you. And she said, okay. And yeah, so.
Later, he runs up on stage. He's just snatching my money up. He's cussing me out, talking about I need to get off the stage. And the owner was like, that's not your money. You need to give it back. That's when I was like, okay, I got to go. I need to calm him down because he gets angry as we're walking away, I was like, can I just see my money so I can at least see how much I made tonight? He was like, no, this is whore money. I was like, what? Whore money? I wasn't naked.
So this is not, what's that between her legs? This is not a lot of money.
And then he starts ripping up my money.
Those are all ones.
And that's what happened.
Is there any charges you want to press against him?
No.
Okay.
I'm literally homeless. So,
Okay.
I mean, like, I get it, homeless.
So she's homeless. So here you have, you know, a guy who clearly has mental issues. Regular people don't bang their head on the police, you know, on police bulletproof glass. And she's homeless as well. And she's probably suffering from the same illness that he is. And they just found each other. And now she's collecting $1 bills.
People haven't trust me. I know I work with homeless people. They be a little crazy.
But she's homeless
only
too.
Backpack I have, and I'm fucked now.
Are you afraid of him? No, you don't think he's going to hurt you or your children?
Huh?
Or your children if you have children?
Oh God, no, I got no.
Do you have any questions for us at the moment?
Yeah, who's paying for my backpack?
Well, if you want to make a complaint about the backpack being damaged, you can contact us.
Okay, so that was that little pocketbook thing that they got.
Complain about the officer who punched me in the face. I'll do that.
Okay, that's all up to you if you want to contact your supervisor. You have the right to do that.
And it assures a summer full of delicious meals coming off that grill.
What is your name, man? Okay, I'm trying to help you out. I'm not asking you a question.
They had his ID.
If you're going to be cooperative with jail staff. What'd you say?
They had his ID.
All right, man.
He's telling us that he's going to fight with you guys.
Okay.
And he's already headbutted us. He's punched us. He's kicked us. He's bit us. So he goes like this. So I just backed up and I right across the jaw, and then there was a fight on.
Who is it?
We don't know his name.
We don't know.
I don't want to have to deal with no crap like that. I don't want to have to deal with, cops. Yeah, you know, respect, because I'm not dealing with no mentally ill Chinaman that's headbutting people, like and headbutting himself. That's, man. I like having regular days at work.
Listen, just keep your gun on you for now in case something.
How's it going? We're gonna get you out of the squad car here.
Officers place a spit hood over the suspect's head as he had bit and spit at officers during the arrest. They may also be doing this to prevent the suspect's blood from getting everywhere.
Can you walk? I'm gonna get out of your house.
Can we check what's going on?
Yeah. He's got a good pulse. Pulse is about 75. He was just talking right before I got out of the car. Give medical response. Right about the right eye, please.
Could you grab shackles?
Are you injured or?
I think it's from when I was getting shot by the BBs, actually.
Oh,
but I ripped when I was fighting with them.
What's your name? You don't know your name?
Why was I arrested?
I don't know if you know your name.
You're gonna get seen by medical, okay?
She there for a ring. She there for a ring. A female cop told me that women like her sign up for the police force, and within 5 years they married to a cop, and that's their life. And they quit because she was there for more than 5 years, and people was wondering what was going on. But this chick here, yeah, she there for a ring.
I want to go home. Where am I?
You're at the jail. Do you take any drugs or anything?
You know if you did today? Okay. I'm gonna guess that's why you got so much blood. From the alcohol, it thins out the blood and bleeds a little bit more.
He looks familiar.
Yeah.
He's not the one I'm thinking of.
Hey, Sergeant Jago with the police department. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up.
Another officer then calls the local hospital to inform them about the suspect's unruly behavior, sparing no detail. Upon hearing this information, the hospital shares that they refuse to take the patient in, as he risks the safety of their staff. In the meantime, medics from the fire department look at the suspect first. Soon after, an ambulance arrives.
Just a heads up with this gentleman, he's cooperative now.
I don't know if that's false or if he's now going to remain cooperative. I did call ahead to give Superior ER a heads up, and they obviously were like, we don't want him here. But yeah, I tried to give him a courtesy heads up, and they were not having it. So why don't you take a look? Maybe he doesn't need to go. I don't know.
At this point, the officers were able to successfully determine the suspect's identity.
He has seizures and was threatening to do this before.
Seizures from what?
Pseudo.
Yeah.
Pseudo?
I think we're. I don't do any pseudo. I don't do anything with pseudo.
It looks like a couple.
Hey, somebody tell me, is that a drug? Is that a drug? Somebody said hospitals can refuse people. Yeah, you damn right. Hospital workers are regular people. They're not equipped to deal with with violence. They're regular people.
Or seem to be that intoxicated, or
I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's all charade or it's probably the most violent I've ever seen toward officers for sure.
You gotta make sure there's nothing going on with your brain, okay? Honestly, I prefer not to transport someone with their hands behind their back just because it could cut off circulation or do damage.
Okay.
That way you won't be laying on it. We're gonna make it so you don't lay on it. Pushing on that! Stop it! I'm wondering if we should sedate him.
Do you think that's necessary? Then absolutely do it.
He's willing to cooperate. We can put him in soft restraints and have the above into the side.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen.
We'll get you on a stretcher. We just don't want you to fight.
Yeah, the Hippocratic Oath is to do no harm. It's not to, you can deny doing good to someone. That's not doing harm. The absence of a positive isn't a negative.
We don't want you to hurt yourself, okay?
Look, people like him they're not regular. You know, that's why they're separated. I mean, you know, I know he has no control over it, but he's not a regular person. You know, he's not a regular person, and you can't have that. Like you look at this woman. Look at this. Look at her frame and stuff. You think she's equipped to deal with some, you know, a grown man biting people, spitting and headbutting? That crap's disgusting. It's nasty and it's violent. It's dangerous. You don't want to deal with that. Yeah, there you have it.
We don't have a way to stop that. It's not really an option, my friend. He's not going to talk. So I'm going to call the receiving hospital and find out if they're good with us using sedation here. Because if he's going to fight, I don't want him to hurt himself or anyone else.
Oh my God! I don't even know if it was. I just went to Zurich, but the county just said that he was just here lodged the other week for the same.
Really?
What the officer just shared is true. According to court documents, the suspect was involved in a previous incident that happened roughly 5 weeks before the filming of this video. The suspect was arrested and charged for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest at that time. He was sentenced for resisting and spent 30 days in jail. He had been out of jail for just 1 week before he got into the altercation captured in this video.
So she has a type. The stripper girl. She has a type. And quite frankly, I first of all, there's an obvious sense that she has a base understanding of male disposability, meaning that she's a homeless woman who uses men to fulfill her temporary needs, her temporary non-sexual needs. You know, like, I need money, so I'll go strip a bit, and then she's on to her next adventure, you know, until she needs something else. And she's probably, you know, using drugs as well. But she's cute with nice titties. I forgot to mention that. So, you know, she's more capable of doing that than a woman who's less cute with smaller titties. So there is that aspect of it. And yeah, I don't think that this was like a whole AMBW thing, but I want to share this video with y'all because I thought it was interesting. And I think that she's just like a crazy who found a crazy, like, you know, like that. Yeah, y'all ever see two babies talking to each other and you get the impression that they know what they're talking about? I think it's like that. Like they speak each other's mental illness.
I can't do it anymore. The handcuffs are fine. No, they aren't. They aren't. I can't do this anymore.
I got one right here. Almost got me. Yeah, I did. I saw it. I came over here.
He's gonna be able to get out of this. We have that extra stuff I think we can add.
Somebody said, yeah, I couldn't do this either. My uncle's a cop. I can't do that. I'm not wrangling a human.
You guys just want to follow us to the ambulance?
The handcuffs are cutting me.
You probably would have had better luck if you started cooperating, Jason.
Four.
Here, step out.
Can't do this anymore. I got the handcuffs. I got your handcuffs. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking is to loosen the handcuffs just a little bit. Just stop. Just a little bit. Loosen the handcuffs.
Can we talk? Can we man-to-man talk?
Yes.
We have a 5-minute ride to St. Mary's, and those cuffs come off.
Okay.
And then you go into soft restraints. You can make it 5 minutes.
I cannot. It needs some morphine and some gabapentin.
Oh, that's what he wants.
You hear that? I don't know what gabapentin is. This man he's chronically in this position. He's chronically getting hogtied by cops with a spit guard on his face. He knows the drugs to ask for. I want some gabapentin. What in the hell is that? He knows what pseudo is. He is not regular.
Break if I cuff this to that.
No.
I cannot do it.
Hey. We're getting you your meds.
I can't do it no more. I can't.
I'm going to give you medicine in your shoulder.
No. I know.
They need a no-fat cop policy. Like nationwide, you need a no-fat cop policy. And I know what happens. Like these dudes join young and you know, and then they pass the physical and stuff, and then they just coast through. But come on now. I'm not saying like don't be a fat human being, but don't be a fat cop.
I don't give you consent. 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 I do not give you consent to do that.
You're hurting yourself.
I do not give you consent to do that. I do not give you consent to do that.
Okay.
I do not give you consent to do that.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You're sorry because you're going to lose your job. What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Alba.
Alba what?
That's all you got to know.
What's your last name?
You don't get to know that?
Because you don't want.
Because
you don't want to lose your job. What's your last name?
No one knows my last name.
What's your last name?
Hopefully I'm done.
Let's not start with that, guy.
What's your last name?
I'm not going to go there. She does. I didn't want to say it because, I didn't know, but yeah. We're not going to do morphine.
Give me some morphine. Give me some morphine. Give me some morphine.
There's no. Thank you, sir.
Give me some morphine. Give me some morphine. Give me some morphine. Give me some morphine.
Jason, do you have any known medical issues?
Give me some morphine.
I was genuinely worried you're going to hurt yourself.
The suspect gave in for the rest of the trip, from the hospital to the jailhouse, likely with the help of his sedation. For this incident, the suspect was charged with 1 count of battery on a law enforcement officer, 2 counts of attempted battery.
He kind of looked like a crazy too.
Battery of a law enforcement officer, and 1 count of resisting an officer. For his sentencing, 1 count of attempted battery and resisting was dismissed, but read in, meaning he would not face a punishment, but those crimes would remain on his record. For battery of a law enforcement officer and 1 count of attempted battery, he was sentenced to 60 days of jail and 30
You can't deny that is some Asian privilege right there. 60 days for, well, he didn't actually punch the officer, so yeah, it's about right. But dude been in and out. Like they say, he was in some crap 5 weeks ago, so he's a regular nuisance. And I'm not saying he should even be in jail, but he needs to be in one of those straitjacket rooms because he's not regular. 30 months probation. Watch what happened.
Months of probation each. His sentence runs concurrently, meaning he will serve all sentences at the same time. However, based off clues played out by court documents, on April 13th, 2022, with just 1 day left of his 60-day jail sentence, he was charged for another incident for battery as a prisoner. Court documents.
See? He's a dangerous prisoner. He messed with people. I'm willing to bet that it was a law enforcement officer. So now he got to do 30 months. He did it on his last day. On his last day on his 59th day of a 60-day sentence, he decides to, smack up somebody or bite somebody. He's not regular. They shouldn't have him in regular prison. He needs to go to Arkham. He needs to go to Arkham Asylum.
Documents suggest this crime was against an officer at the jail. For that incident, on August 28th.
I told you. He targets cops because he feels that they have rules that they abide by that regular other prisoners don't abide by. So he still thinks he could get away with crap like that, no matter how many times he's punched in the face, hogtied, and have a plastic bag over his head and dragged in the ambulance and given stitches and locked up. He still thinks that the police is on his side and they got to put up with his crap. He still thinks that. He's not regular. They need to put him in the straitjacket place where they give you pudding, because it's better than regular prison for him, and he gets pudding and stuff and medicine. Speaking of which, D squared was saying that she was saying what type of medicine that is. Okay. Exactly. He thinks it because he keeps getting away with it somewhat, but now he's doing 30 months, 5 years, because he broke his probation before even getting out. Yeah, the place with the padded walls. That's Arkham Asylum, right?
8th, 2023. His previous 30-month sentence of probation was revoked.
Oh, it was revoked.
He would instead spend 1 year in county jail with 100.
It was revoked. So that's what's going on. It was revoked. And so he is getting away with it. He still has to do a year, but he's still getting away with it because he's out now. He lives to spit again.
$164 days of credit. If he follows the rules, he should be out of jail at this point, at least by the middle of March of 2024.
He's not going to follow the rules.
The bank won't even do anything about these bills.
Bring them into the bank.
Yeah, you finished cutting this? Do you have a knife?
You could try and attach these back together. If you had any
that is ghetto and dingy. I'm not doing that.
That is ghetto, bitch. You homeless. And somebody say I'm doing homeless content. Listen, I do what's done for me. I don't go out looking for crap. Okay, so if I click on a homeless video, that puts me into the algorithm. So they send me more homeless crap that I share with you. That's all I do here. I see stuff and I share it. I click a homeless video, they send me another homeless chick, and there you go. It's a trend. I take y'all down the rabbit hole with me. That's what I do. She said that's ghetto and bingy. You homeless. All the other stuff that happened today wasn't ghetto, but this is ghetto.
Do you want me to just cut right here?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
They cut her backpack into a purse and she's happy. Yeah. So a lot of crazies in the world. Yeah, so after this, another punch a cop in the face video comes up. I mean, like that's and maybe I'll cover that tomorrow. Like that's just how I get down. All right, this is the last one. This is only 5 minutes.
With friends like this, who needs enemies? There's a young lady by the name of Denny. She thought she had a best friend, actually, a Chinese best friend.
Oh, my bad. I was muted. But this is the least attractive woman that I've seen today. On this show. On this show. Actually, in period, because I haven't been out the house yet. So this is the least attractive woman that I've seen today. And she's also in China, like the first girl, who just so happened to be cute. So let's take a look.
She traveled to China and her experience was not so great. She said that she was stared at, people were looking at her, she felt uncomfortable. But when she turned around to get some kind of comfort from her best friend who is Asian, who's Chinese, they moved away from her. They kept walking behind her. So she was wondering what's happening. Like,
they do have a tendency to do that. I pay it no mind. They do that in China. They do it in the Philippines a bit too, but they actually ask to take your picture and they talk to you and they say stuff like, are you a basketball player? The kids that say stuff like that. The woman that just asked to take your picture, and I don't really pay it no mind. I mean, you're different. You're in a different place. You know, you're different to the people there. In a, you know, it is what it is.
Am I walking too fast? So she joined her friend to walk with her friend, but they kept separating themselves from her. And eventually when she asked what the problem is, she was told, it's too much for me, you're getting stared at and I can't take this. Watch this clip, we'll come back and discuss.
Put a finger down if while you're in China, you're with two other people and someone who's considered to be your bestie, and you're walking in a mall and people are already staring at you. Obviously comes with the territory. And you're used to this. You know, you've been here for a few days now. You already had a shocker and stayed inside for 2 days, but you know you're ready now. And people staring at you and people saying weird comments, but you're like, at least I'm with people who kind of, or at least I'm with a person who kind of understands my situation here. But then you come to look behind you and you see the person who's supposed to be considered your bestie keeping their distance from you and kind of like.
What's that ointment she got? Is that skin whitener? Or hair blondener? Or eye bluer? What's that ointment she got that she's just like carrying around? Somebody said they thought she was an anime character. Well, I mean, listen, no matter what, she's different. I mean, I don't know. I don't get stared at per se in South America or Latin America in general, but that's because I blend in better. But in Asia, I'm different, and I understand that. It's not the end of the universe.
Staying away from me. So you go and ask them, why are you doing that? Whoa. Like, what's going on here? And they continue.
And China men and women are, like somebody was saying in the chat room earlier, they are a lot more blunt. And the politeness that we have don't necessarily apply to them. So, for example, if we have a desire to stare at somebody, we wouldn't do it, but we would just like look at them at the corner of our eye or something, but they'll just stare. Because we're taught at a very young age that it's impolite to stare, and they probably weren't. You know, there's a lot of things that they weren't, and you know, it doesn't make them bad people. It just means it's a different culture. So, for example, there was a commercial out. Oh, actually, I have more than one example. China is the place in the world where they just blatantly say, now hiring white people. I kid you not. So I don't know if this still is a thing, but there is a company that hires white people and pay them for being white. It's a Chinese company. So what they do is they hire, and this is, you gotta be a dusty, you gotta be like a real loser white dude to take this job. You really have to be, because what you're doing is you get hired, they put a suit on you, and you go to like Chinese company functions and look white, meaning like you look like you're somebody important. You look like an international American or European businessman. You're hired to look like a important white person. I kid you not. This is a real thing. Hey, Google is your friend. This is a real thing. This is a real thing. So, yeah, that's how blunt they are. They like, listen, we need somebody white to make my company look important. So there's probably some like dusty dim-witted white stoner that look like Shaggy Doo that shaves and showers and goes to China to make some being white. As twisted as it sounds, they be on that ish. And you know, it makes sense, because when I was there, one of the first thing I noticed is that people look like the job they do. In fact, Chinamen be, you know what else they did? I'll never forget this. And I was like, man, that is some gangster. That is gangster. They told a 9-year-old girl that she was ugly. And okay, so I think it was like 2004 or something. They had the Olympics there. And they had like a 9-year-old girl that they just blatantly said, listen, you're too damn ugly to sing in front of white people. So we're going to put you in the back and have you lip sing for a cuter 9-year-old. That is some Chinese shit. They would never do that in America. Well, they did it. They did it to like Kelly Price, but they would never do it to a 9-year-old in America. They are blunt and they are brutal. To just call a 9-year-old ugly and say, we like your voice, so you got to lip sync for a better looking 9-year-old. That is brutal. That is gangster. They cold with it. So them staring is just them being them. Them staring is just them being them, you know.
You to say, they tell you, oh, it's just too much. Like, people keep staring at you, and I can understand what they're saying. Like, I can't do it. I'm just gonna stay over there. And you just was like, you know, trying to go backwards and trying to, like, you know, join them and walk with them, and they're like trying to avoid you. Okay. Obviously, you kind of like take this with a.
Hey, incidentally, years back, I was at a car rental place, and a Chinaman walks in, and he looked just like Jackie Chan. He looked just like Jackie Chan. And I know that there's a stereotype that all Asian people look alike. So I really put myself out there by saying this. And I wouldn't have said it if he didn't look just like him. And I've seen Chinese people before. And I said, hey, anyone ever tell you look just like Jackie Chan? He said, yeah. He said, yes, in America they do. And he said, in America they tell me that, but they don't tell me that in my country. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's probably like a lot of, you know, the conversation got weird. He said, well, you know, you might look like an actor in my country. I was like, yeah, well, you know, maybe we can go to China and pretend like we're filming another Rush Hour. So I joked, he laughed, and that was the end of that conversation. But yeah, I don't know why I told that story. I was just thinking about it because I was thinking about Chinese people.
Pinch of salt, you're like, no, it can't be that bad. Anyway, you go and find somewhere to have dinner. Everything's good. You get back to the hotel and you bring up the situation again. You're like, what was that about? Why, when we were in a mall, you were keeping your distance from me and yeah, basically acting like the people around me that I don't know. And they continue to say, oh, you know, it just made me really uncomfortable. And, you know, I just, like, everyone was staring at you and it just, like, it was too much. It was just way too much. I couldn't do it. And you proceed to say, what about me? How do you think I felt in that situation when everyone else?
Look, they just looking. They just looking. Listen, people look at me all the damn time. Largely because I dress different. You think I care? Grow up. I mean, come on now. And then, you know, your friend obviously don't want any part of that. Like, it's nothing personal. She's like, listen, I'm not used to just all this attention, you know, like, it's like, hey, you know, I'm not with this whole all eyes on me life, you know, this bro here crying, like, you know, you didn't have my back, like, have her back, like, listen, she just don't want to be stared at, you know, and I get that you probably don't either, because sometimes you know, like, well, why are you on you or Instagram or whatever, you know, if you don't want people looking at you, like, that's a whole nother thing. But listen, some people is not about that attention life like that. So, and China women definitely aren't. So yeah, you know, like, you making the spot hot, you know, like, listen, say a dude is like 7 foot tall. He's going to get looked at because most humans aren't 7 foot tall. And me as a regular 6 foot dude can say or not say, like, hey, I don't, you know, it's kind of odd, you know, people staring in my direction and, you know, looking at your tall ass. Like, you know, just walk in front, because I'm looking shorter just standing next to your ass. So just walk in front. Like, hey, it's not that big a deal. Grow up. Grow the fuck up.
It's making me feel uncomfortable, and I have my best friend.
Okay, somebody brings up a good point. She's not upset at the staring, but rather the way her friend acted. Fuck those fake friends. Okay. Agreed. There is an expectation that a friend is supposed to back you no matter how uncomfortable the situation is, even if it's physically violent, you know, but that's more for guys. But so yeah, there is a there with that. But on the other hand, I don't really think that was. I think that it was her best friend, but I think that it was only her best friend because she don't have any friends. I think it was more her only friend. I think that this was just like a mild acquaintance, but to her, it was her best friend. And not saying that I sense anything extraordinarily off about her personality that would make her friendless, but the fact that she's in a different country. And it seems like she met that woman there. You know, like, now if she bought a Chinese American friend, her Chinese American friend to China, and she did that, then yeah, I would say that that's not a good friend. But, you know, if she's been there a couple days and somebody befriended her over, you know, for whatever reason over a short period of time, and you're like, you're my best friend, why did you do that? Then yeah, it means that you probably don't have many friends.
And keeping that distance from me and making me feel like I did something wrong. And you tell them this, and then they tell you, oh, it was too much. I didn't want to be close to you because everyone was staring at you, and it made me feel really uncomfortable. And I said again, how do you think I felt in that situation? And they still don't understand.
Yeah, she is taking it a bit much. Like, listen, there's certain things that you're supposed to do for friends, but it's not that serious. It was just this year. I ditched my friend something fierce, and I was cracking up when I did it. And I do it again. So, in Colombia, there's like these two dudes that are really, really, really just awful rappers. And when they see a tourist, they come up and they spit their shitty lyrics like right in front of your face, and then they do it for like 5 minutes, and you walking and they start walking with you, and they still trying to flow, and it's just awful. And then afterwards they put their hat out and ask for some bread. So they got me on the way to Subway. They got me. I didn't know what was going on. They seen me, and then they just came at me with their lyrics. And I was like, oh crap. I never want to go through this again. So I knew what they were about. And then later, when I was with my friend who hadn't gotten by them yet, because he didn't go to Subway, I seen them coming, and I turned and went the other way and left him stuck with it. Sometimes people just do crap, and he's not online crying about it.
Anyway,
it's heartbreaking to see her realize in real time that was not her true friend, because a true friend will never do that to you, will never be ashamed of you in public. That just tells you that was not her best friend. And thank God that she realized this, although she had to be hurt for her to realize that was not her friend. But at the end of the day, it's better to know now than.
Who are these in the back? Because these are white girls. I thought the woman was Chinese. So
never. Also, we can't move past what this lady had to go through in China. She was excited to go there. She was happy to learn the culture, tradition, and then she was faced with discrimination, with looks, with the situation she described. It did not look like or sound like it was fun. Unfortunately for her, even her best friend was ashamed to be next to her. It's quite a trauma, and hope this young lady gets out of it, realize how beautiful she is, how strong she is, and she doesn't need this people's validation for her to be the person that she is and to walk in this world with her head held high. Anyways, fam, let us know down below what your thoughts are about what Denny went through. I am Wingil Zalalam. I'll see you on the next one.
Okay, so
if the Democratic,
hold on. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so looks like her friends were white. And from what I understand about Chinamen, that they are more attracted to white girls. So it seemed like they would be staring at her, at the white girls more, or at least the white appearing ones more, than they are staring at the black one out of, and maybe it's lust. Maybe it's lust, but I think it's really like curiosity, which it happens. Listen, I forget his name, but there was a black samurai in feudal Japan who started off as a slave, but the Japanese bought him and made him a samurai. They paid the Portuguese trader for him and turned him into a samurai because of his physique and his height. But the first thing they did is try to wash the black off of him. As crazy as it sounds, and don't ask me, look it up. As crazy as it sounds, the first thing they did was they tried to wash the black off. Yakuzi, thank you. What? Wait. How's that pronounced? Yeah. Yes. Yasuk. Yeah, Netflix had a special, and I forget his name though. But first thing they did was they tried to wash it off of them. So people just do stuff. Native Americans did that too. People just do stuff when they're faced with the unknown. It's not. It doesn't mean that they're bad people. If they were bad people, you would know, because everybody would be kung fu fighting, I guess. The fist was fast as lightning. So that's what it was called, Shogun? Yes, I did. I did watch that cartoon series, and it was fantastic. I'm wondering how accurate it was historically, but it's very little written about him, so they could just kind of fill it with everything. But yes, I did watch that, and it was a good series. I knew about his existence prior to that. I don't know where I read it before, but I was actually shocked by the notion. Oh, it wasn't a cartoon. No, there was a Netflix cartoon like that. You're saying so? Oh, you're talking about that. That's not the Black Samurai. No, that sucks. That sucks. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that sucks. That show. It sucks for a number of reasons. For one, they're playing into this whole strong female lead thing, which tends to be, especially when you're dealing with feudal Japan, extraordinarily inaccurate. The way that they seem over enamored by this trader, by this Christian trader, that seemed like at that time it would be. By that time, they would be used to European traders, and he wouldn't get that response. There was a lot with it, but I think what annoyed me the worst, and this is probably, and maybe everything else that I'm critiquing about is my bias towards this. I really don't like listening to the language. I don't mind reading subtitles, but I really do not like listening to the language while I'm reading subtitles. It's an annoying language to me. And the whole show is like that. And I know they're doing it to make it authentic, but they didn't do Vikings like that. They didn't have like a Nordic language that they, well, actually, on some parts they did, but eventually it just got regular. They have an English dub. I watched it on FX. Why wouldn't they just put the English dub there? And yeah, we watched the same show. I know what you're talking about. And no, listen, there weren't like female samurai themselves. Well, there was actually that one chick that, you know, was ambushed with the arrows, and, you know, she got out of it. But there was just like a willingness of men to follow the women in their lives, and that doesn't seem like feudal Japan at all. And it did seem like the women were topping the men from the bottom. You know, the princess was more valuable than the shogun type thing going on. Okay, maybe I got to rewatch it. I'll say that. Maybe I got to rewatch it. When I don't like something, I tune a lot of it out. But no, I thought since we were talking about the Black Samurai, we were talking about that Netflix cartoon. But I did see that because I like Vikings so much. Okay, so yeah, I watched it again. But like I said, I wasn't a fan. The Shogun from 1980. No, that's Sho'nuff. That's Sho'nuff. Well, he was the Shogun of Harlem, but no, that's Sho'nuff. And he was the master. So, you know, he wore Converse. But yeah, that's who that was. Yeah, like I respect the culture. One of my favorites was Samurai Jack. I used to like his problem-solving skills. Yeah, he was one of the coolest samurais ever. His voice, not his voice, but the voice of the villain. I forget his name. But yeah, Samurai Jack was cool. Afro Samurai with Samuel L. Jackson. It's a love-hate thing because he had the title samurai, but he didn't follow like any codes of nobility that samurai follow. He was just on some outright savage stuff. He would just do stuff in order to win because deep down he was just an all-out savage nigga. So I think that the title was misleading, but I did like the show too. I liked Blue Eye Samurai, even though that was, you know, a whole woman empowerment thing. I did like it. It was well written. I got to say that. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I remember when I was a kid in the 80s, I would like it came on like real late at night. But they'll have like a Chinese kung fu fighting thing because it was big back then because of Bruce Lee. And I would watch those a lot. So, but anyway, back to this situation. You know, you can't just, if it's not threatening, you can't just go to a place expecting only good. You know, like people are going to stay. I mean, you know, like I say, I don't play basketball, but, you know, they ask if I'm a basketball player. Kids ask if I was a basketball player. I say, yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I am. You know, help feed your imagination. You know, you imagine me to be a basketball player. So, you know, why not have it? Now you have a story to tell other kids. You met a basketball player. There you go. Yeah, I liked his voice, the way he talked, and he was just a funny character. He was just like a real funny dude to me. I don't think I remember that, but that is a cool thing to do. The Boondocks, yep. Okay. I probably seen it and don't remember because it just like fell into one of those shows that I watched. But there was no better. There was no better than when I say who's the master, you say Sho'nuff. That was the greatest Shogun ever. The Shogun of Harlem. My favorite character from Samurai Jack was the Blue Guardian. That was a black man, the blue skin. Yeah, beat Jack one on. Yeah, and he beat him easily. I remember that episode. My favorite character is the Irishman with the machine gun leg. That was comedy. That was pure comedy. Dude was insane. Oh yeah, with the Sammy Davis Jr. Swag. Yeah, he was cool too. But I still got to give it to the Irishman with the machine gun leg. Shaft, he has a bad mother. Just talking about Shaft. Yeah. Shaft was cool. He wasn't a samurai, but Shaft was cool, and that goes back to what I was saying. Back to the Asian thing about the emasculated image of Asian men. It's always been bad. There was never like an Asian Shaft, or like a hyper masculine. There was never like a Chad version of Asian men. You know, like even the ones who would be considered alpha, like the Jet Li, Jackie Chan's, Bruce Lee, and stuff like that. They were more like functional alphas, not romantic ones. Like, you know. So even then, it was pretty lame. It was pretty lame for them. But like I said, this K-pop thing may work to their advantage. They need their turn in the sun. They need their time in the sun. All right. So yeah, I think that's it for the day. I'll give y'all like 8 more minutes and see what else y'all are talking about before we went down this samurai rabbit hole. Because we were talking about Chinese people. I don't know how we even got there. They're doing too much. Back in the day, they would beat his ass and throw him in the drunk tank. Yeah, because now they got cameras on them. But nah, he would have got a couple of batons. Race aside, he would have got a few. He would have got some nightsticks, you know, on him. They would have put those sticks on him back in the day. So I'm glad the cameras exist. Not because I fear being nightsticked, but we get an idea of what cops go through. You know. People shouldn't be treated like this. You talking about dude that got hauled off? Because I gotta say, you know, I mean, though it's not his fault, it's not much you can do. Somebody raise a fist towards you, you know. Like cop or not, you know, don't raise your fist towards people. Unless, you know, unless there's some follow through. He's not normal, you know. I mean, okay, I'll put it like this. How should he be treated? Let's start there. That's a good place to start. How should he be treated? How would you have treated him? Let's start with that. All right, I'm gonna go get some lunch in a bit, but let me see. I don't know what any of that is. Don't talk Latin to me. I'm not a drug person. I'm not a drug person. I got some Advil and I got some antibiotics and Pepto-Bismol. What else I got? Yeah, that's it. So I don't even have Robitussin. I'm not like a drug person. Maybe I should get some. I got whatever's in the first aid kit. I bought a first aid kit as a for a fundraiser because kids were selling for a fun. Listen, if any of you find yourself in my circle of friends and you have a kid, only bother me once a year. I'm not buying shit else. Once a year will I buy something for your kids. Just once. Just once. Do not ask me for shit else ever. If I buy a box of Girl Scout cookies, that's it. I don't want you to have me to put in on your walkathon or your readathon or whatever the fuck. That's it for the whole year. Don't bother me again. Everybody should have that policy because these little bastards will milk you. They'll milk you. Like, could you help me with this? Like, oh, I got to go to the fundraiser. Like, nope. I need a football uniform. Nope. Once a year, I'll buy something I don't want. There's some jam. Friend's daughter sold me some jam. What do I look like? What do I look like? I look like the jam eating nigga from Oakland. Like, what in the? I'm never gonna eat jam. It's just there, and it cost me $10, and then had the audacity to ask me to buy some more crap. Talking about breast cancer awareness or something like, what the fuck? No, I'm done with you. Be gone with you. Mow my lawn. Fuck that. That's it. That's it for the year. I bought your jam and that's it. I don't eat Girl Scout cookies. It's a whole store full of regular cookies. I just walk out. Listen, if I walk out of a store and I don't have cookies in the bag, it means that I don't have a taste for cookies right now. And if I do have cookies in the bag, then I already got some damn cookies. Yeah, he was an intriguing character. Japanese knows how to write. They're good writers. I will say that. They're actually a culture of many talents. Is that what she is? Ethiopian? She do look good. On the left, a 250-pound police officer. On the right, 130. Yeah, meth addicted with no teeth. Oh, he didn't have no teeth? Yeah. Well, he probably didn't have no teeth because he keep fucking with cops. Oh man, I seen a cop catch a fade by and I was young too. I was maybe like 12. I seen a cop catch a fade real bad by a 16-year-old black dude while his partner, it was a white cop too. Okay, so what happened was two teenage black dudes got into a fight. And then two cops come to break it up. And so the black cop, he grabbed one of the dudes, and it was the duty of the white cop to grab the other one. But the white cop could not hang, and the boy was only like 16. I was like, man, he's never going to live that down. This was a long time ago. He's never going to live that down. This is decades ago. Other cops is going to, you couldn't hang, and dude was like all of 16, 17 at most. And you got all kind of like, Batman utilities on your belt. That was not a good look. So I could see why, dude, the moment he lifted his fist back, other dude caught a cold one, because it's like, listen, you can't be out on the street. You lose respect as a cop. you know, when stuff like that happens. That's why I had the no fat cop policies, because like, hey, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. You embarrass the uniform. Like, you know, you try to chase somebody and, you know, by the time you run 10 yards, he like 50 yards away. That is embarrassing. That is a bad look. And you huffing and puffing and stuff after those 10 yards too. Like, all right, I'm gonna need backup. Like, listen, don't be a fat cop. Don't be a fat cop. And if you are, then get behind the desk. I remember I had to somebody had stole my tags, and I got a ticket for not having tags. So I had to go to the DMV, and then I had to go to the police station to have them sign the back of the ticket. So I don't have to pay money for it, right? So so I did all that, and then I went to the police station, and surely enough, it was a fat black cop in the back, in the back, and it was like the littlest Asian woman helping him, and I was like, yeah, it's a good thing you're in the back, because what the fuck y'all gonna do? What they gonna do if something really happened? And see, you want to know what's worse is that's how people get shot, because there's nothing else they can do. That's how people get shot, because of stuff like that. Because you know, when there's nothing else that the cop can do. Let me show y'all one last thing before I go, if I could find it. It's in my history, but it's probably like a lot of stuff buried on it. Oh shit, Tanika's live. Actually, she's live on a topic that I want to discuss, because apparently now this 4B movement is, oh crap. See, I told y'all weird stuff come on my feed. So y'all might hear me talk about this, because there's a thing that says when cops save boyfriends from killer girlfriends. So y'all might get a video about that. So people like, why you doing videos about homeless? Like, listen, I do what's in my feed. So let me save that to watch later. And then let me see if I can find. So it was at like a NASCAR event or something, and some big white dude was going through it, and he started dropping M-bombs. Oh no, that wasn't on the that wasn't in YouTube. I seen that. That was on a news feed. So, you know, this dude, this was one of those big ass white boys, and he was so big and fat that he was taser proof. He was a taser proof big ass white dude. So, you know, like, what else can you do? So, you know, officer just hit him with the 2-piece, and you know, they got into it. The partner helped, wound up having to put 2 handcuffs on him, and that was that. That's the end of that story. But it was an interesting watch. But yeah, it's real out there for cops. So it is what it is. All right, let me see if I can find that one last thing. But yeah, I might do something, because my cousin sent me a thing talking about these bitches going to try some 4B shit. Listen. These attempts at sexual embargoes never ends well. It never ends well. It is what it is. And it's not like y'all was fucking to begin with. Let's be clear. If you're on that 4B shit, if you're threatening on some 4B shit, you know, you wasn't sucking my dick before. What do you think I'm gonna miss out? You think I'm gonna miss out at Kamala supporting head? Fuck no. So is what it is in that regard. But anyway, like to thank everybody that participated. Like to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats, managers and moderators, those who are listening silently and those participating in the chat. I'm going to be in Danica Marie's chat for a little bit. I'm going to head out. But this is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.